Welcome to the John Cady podcast. I'm John Cady, U.S. Navy retired and former minister. This episode is going to be a departure from a lot of the typical fare that I like to talk about on these podcasts. It's going to be a bit more personal and reflective as I share about how life events can impact a person's health. We're not just talking about mental health, but also the physical health, the emotional health of the individual. This has been a very rough year for me as far as that goes because 2025 began with probably the most devastating thing that I could imagine going through. On January 10th of this year, my beloved girlfriend, with whom I was in a very close and intimate relationship for over 8 years, unexpectedly passed away. She had been suffering from several health issues for a long time. Most particularly, she had congestive heart failure. The congestive heart failure was what brought about her sudden demise. When I was brought to the consolation room at Jane Phillips Hospital and the news was broken to me that she had passed away, I was devastated. I was crying. That's pretty much a given because there were things I still was looking forward to doing with her, and now I'm charting a new course in my life that has been thrust in front of me, a life without her. That chapter is now forever closed, so now a new chapter in my life is beginning. We talk a lot, and especially in grief counseling, people talk a lot about how grief and the loss of a loved one impacts somebody emotionally, how they impact a person mentally. When I go see my doctor here in the next few days, we're going to be talking about, and I'm already working on a plan to correct some health issues physically that came about as a result of losing my beloved. Yes, a lot of people don't realize that there's a very strong physical toll taken on the body when you lose a loved one, whether it's a child, whether it's a spouse, a parent. Anyone with whom you have had a very close relationship to for a long period of time, the effect on your physical health is there. It's just a lot of times we don't talk about that. We hear people talk on occasion about how somebody died from a broken heart after a person close to them dies. Thankfully, I was not anywhere near that point after losing her, but after receiving some lab results, I began to look and evaluate. It's like, something's up here. A few of my labs are off. I couldn't help but think, what brought this about? What changes in my behavior and in my activities brought about these undesirable events, these problematic lab results, if you will? What part of my daily routine after my girlfriend's passing changed in the last 8 months? Now, for several months, I had struggled with eating things that were not healthy. That was kind of a given there too. But after a closer evaluation of what I was into, I began to see a pattern where one part of my routine had completely gone off kilter, and I didn't realize it was wrecking my health. And that is a simple thing like sleep. When my girlfriend and I were together and nighttime came, it was time to go to bed. Now, we had a routine. We had everything set up. And it was pretty easy. We got our teeth brushed, we changed for the evening, and we usually went to bed at about the same time. But after she passed away, that got thrown off kilter. I didn't know what to do with myself. I found myself for the last several months staying up real late every night, sometimes getting maybe 1 or 2 hours of sleep, and then getting up and going back and doing my normal routine for work and visiting family and taking care of my day-to-day. But I didn't realize that over the course of the time that the lack of sleep was wrecking me. It was messing up my health, and the lab results showed it. That's something that when people talk about grief and loss, we don't often get into. We don't get into this conversation about protecting your physical health after losing someone. It did. The results were there. The lack of sleep over the last 8 months from the results were catching up with me. So the question is now, what am I going to do? Well, of course, I'm going to be talking to the doctor in a few days and get that taken care of. But at the same time, I'm already putting a plan in motion to correct this, to have a healthier routine, even forcing myself to have a set bedtime. Just like when I was in the military. You had lights out at such and such time every night. It doesn't have to be exactly like the military, but I do have to have something set in my nighttime routine, especially after I get home, that at the same time every night, everything shuts off and I go to bed. That way I can get more sleep, which my body obviously needs to correct some of these issues that have crept up. Because I don't want things to get more serious. I want to be able to stay healthy so I can continue to function, to continue to spend time with my son and my daughter, to be able to put these podcasts out for everybody. It's been a little different tonight as far as what I'm talking about. And if it sounds like I'm rambling, yes, I'm probably rambling a little bit, but it's important to get this out there that there's probably some other people who stumble across the podcasts who are going through a similar situation. They've probably lost a close friend, a family member, maybe a romantic partner, and they don't understand how the grief and the loss is impacting them in so many different ways. It does hurt. It hurts spiritually, it hurts mentally, it hurts emotionally, and it also affects a person's physical well-being. If you're going through this, please seek help. Please talk to a counselor. Please talk to your family doctor. Talk to a clergyman who is licensed to counsel and help with these sort of things, because the last thing any of us need to feel is to feel like we're all alone and that there's nobody out there to talk to help us navigate through all this. If I've helped anybody tonight in this podcast, that would be enough. Just as it's affected me, I know it's affecting others as well. This is John Cady. If you enjoy this content, please hit like or subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.